Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for coming today. This is Strategies to Grow Your Reader Audience from Written Word Media. My name is Clayton Noblit. I am the Senior Marketing Manager at Written Word Media, and I've been with the company for almost 5 years now. And while I'm not an author, I'll leave all of the writing advice to all the expert writers watching this video. But I am a marketer, and I like to think I'm pretty good at it. And so today I'm going to be talking about strategies to market your books and grow your reader audience. Hopefully you can take away some real concrete actions you can take to build your author career. Something I like to mention before I give a marketing presentation is that I'll be talking a lot about selling books and about acquiring readers onto your mailing list, things like that. I just like to point out that that's not the only definition of success as an author. So I'm going to be talking a lot about selling books, but I also recognize that just having one person read your book and having it be meaningful for them could be as important to one author as selling 100 books could be to another author. So everybody has their own definition of success. I'm going to be talking about marketing, and so I'm going to be focused on selling books. But that's not all there is to it when it comes to being an author and marketing your books. So, with that said, I want to talk a little bit about being an author and applying a business mindset to being an author. So in an author business, from a really high level, it's pretty simple, right? They typically have two pillars of an author business. One is the product, the thing that you're selling, which is your books. And then two is the marketing, which is how you sell your products. And so there isn't really another element of an author business that is as important as one of these two pillars. So you're experts on your product, right? You wrote your books, you know all about them. And so you probably have the product portion nailed down if you have a published book. But the marketing is where it can get a little more tricky. And it's not as exciting for a lot of authors to market their books as it is to write and publish it. As we move into marketing, I like to talk a little bit about marketing and kind of get a feel for how people think about marketing their books and whether or not they enjoy it. And I talk to a lot of authors, and this GIF here kind of sums up how a lot of authors feel about marketing that I talk to. They're not very into it. And I just like to point out that this is very common. At Written Word Media, we actually survey thousands of authors every year, and we ask them questions like how many books they've published, how much money they're making from their books, how they market their books, what genre they write in, all sorts of different questions. And we actually find that no matter how long you've been published, how many books you've published, or how much money you're making from your books, regardless of where you are in all of those categories, every category is most likely to say that marketing is the hardest part of being an author. So if you find marketing challenging or frustrating, it's not you. This is an almost universal thing with authors. Not many authors really enjoy marketing their books. So hopefully in this presentation, I can give you some advice to help you organize your marketing and actually have a way of thinking about marketing that makes it more fun, more organized, and really help you understand the purpose of everything you do when you market your books. All right, so why am I here? All right, so in the next 30 or 40 minutes here, I'm going to go over 5 strategic focus areas for authors and how by focusing on these 5 strategies, you can build an author business over time that is strong and resilient and has a really solid base to it. First, we're going to talk about optimizing conversion. Then we're going to talk about growing your paid audience, growing your owned audience, building your brand, and finally, being findable. For each area, we're going to give a goal and tactics that make up the strategy, but we're also going to talk about how these strategies work together and create an outcome that is more than the sum of their parts. I call this the author marketing flywheel. And so these are 5 strategies that I see authors that sell a lot of books using together in cohesion. They might not have them defined in this way, but this is something that I see over and over as being a key to success for authors if you're trying to sell a lot of books. First up, we have conversion optimization. And so this, you could call this product marketing, and it really couldn't be more important. So, you can spend as much time as you want buying book promotions with us at Written Word Media or another book promotion company, running your own Facebook ads, stuff like that. But if your book page on a retailer like Amazon isn't optimized and doesn't grab readers' attention, a lot of that effort will be wasted, right? Because a small percentage of the people that actually go to your book page will actually buy your book. So starting with conversion optimization and getting your book page on Amazon as good as it can be before you start driving readers to that page is a really important thing. And this is something you need to do with all of your books and make sure that they are packaged as best as possible. Otherwise, you're leaving money on the table. So how do we optimize for conversion? How do we optimize the book page? So there's a lot of different ways you can do this, but first up, there's the description, right? Having a description that hooks readers and gets them excited about what they're about to read, maybe gives them some good comparisons about books that they may have read in the past, things like that. And so these items, having them in your description is a really important thing when it comes to getting readers, convincing them to buy your book. We also survey readers at Written Word Media, and we find that the description plays a really big role in whether or not a reader decides to buy a book. Also, reviews are really important, right? The social proof of having readers buy a book and leave a review, and if the reviews are mostly positive, other readers are much more likely to then go ahead and buy the book as well. Of course, having a good cover is really important. Covers are tricky because you really want to cover that grabs the eye and is exciting, but you also want to cover that fits into your genre, right? Because readers are looking for books in particular genres, and if your book is say a fantasy book, but it looks like a science fiction book, those fantasy readers are going to be much less likely to click it because they're thinking, this doesn't really look like my sort of fantasy novel. This looks a little more sci-fi. Maybe I won't click it. So making sure that your cover fits into your genre is critically important, but you also need to make sure that your cover is high quality and grabs the eye. Cover is a great opportunity for indie authors to kind of show your professionalism and kind of vet yourself with readers with how professional your cover is and how well it grabs the reader's eye. And then last, optimizing for conversion. All of these items do go into metadata, but also making sure that your things like keywords on your Amazon listings are optimized as well is a great way to get more people to your book and get the right people to your book, which will help with conversion. So, how often should you revisit conversion optimization? So, unfortunately, I think this is almost a never-ending process. I think, not because your book changes, right? Once you publish your book, typically it stays the same. And so ideally, you should be able to set it and forget it. But the world also changes, right? Maybe a new, very popular book comes out, and you might want to add that as a comparison in your description or in your keywords or something like that. So making sure that you revisit conversion optimization over time is a really great way to make sure that you're building your audience and making sure that your books get as many people as possible to actually click that buy button. As far as a time, how often should you go back and revisit your book pages? We recommend once a quarter if you have time, but this is really up to individual authors. I would just say make sure you're coming back to it. Don't go years and years without ever changing your description or your keywords. Unless your book is just absolutely destroying it, then don't fix it if it ain't broke. But it's really good to revisit this and try to improve this over time, because if you get your conversion up, if you get the percentage of people seeing your book to the percentage of people buying it, if you get that percentage high, your marketing is just going to be supercharged. Everything you do will work better. So making sure your conversion is as good as it can be is a really important first step when it comes to having a strategy around marketing your books. So now what we'll do is we'll think about our grades. So I'm going to have everybody write down in your notebook, give yourself a grade. It's going to be an A, B, or C, no D's here. And where do you think you are with your conversion optimization? Is this something that you feel pretty good about? Do you think you need a little bit of work on it? Maybe some of your books, if you have multiple books published, or is this something that you have never thought about and you're excited to go and dig into your descriptions? Just go ahead and write down a grade for yourself, and then at the end of this session, hopefully your grades for different strategies will be different, and so you'll know which one you want to start with, right? So yeah, don't judge yourself, but kind of get a feel for how you're feeling about where you are with this strategy right now, because you're probably already doing a lot of the stuff that I just talked about. All right, strategy 2. So after we have our conversion optimized, and we know that as many people as possible are going to buy the book after they land on the book page, we can start focusing on growing a paid audience. So a paid audience is really important because it is just the fastest way to get a lot of readers to your book. And so much of the marketing that authors do falls into this paid audience category. A paid audience is an audience that you pay to reach. So these are things like running promos with us at Written Word Media. Maybe you're running Facebook or BookBub ads. Maybe you're running a BookBub promo. Anything you do where you pay a service or a company and they send readers to your book page, that is part of your paid audience. And the paid audience is great because you can drive a lot of readers, especially often in a short period of time, to your book page. But when you stop paying, then the audience goes away, right? Some of them may sign up for your email list. That's great, and that transitions into your owned audience, and we'll get into that. But your paid audience are the people that go away when you stop paying for the marketing. A great thing about the paid audience is that they tend to be more measurable. So if you're running Facebook ads, you know how much you're paying per click. Maybe you're using Amazon attribution links and getting some conversion data as well. So paid audiences, you want to measure how they're doing and understand what works for you and your books. So that's a good thing about paid audiences that you want to focus on when you're running ads or promos. All right, so I like this quote here by this guy, Stuart Henderson Britt. It says, "Doing business without advertising is like winking at a girl in the dark. You know what you're doing, but no one else does." So yeah, I think this guy's a giant of advertising thought from back in the day. I wanted to update the quote for 2023, and so I'm going to change it to doing business without a paid audience is like dancing in the dark. You know what you're doing, but no one else does. And this is attributed to Stuart Henderson Britt and, of course, my coworker Emma, who improved this quote. And so, yeah, I think this is just so true, right? A paid audience is critical to almost every business that I know of across industries. And then especially with indie authors, especially when you're starting out, your paid audience is how you grow your readership and get your feet off the ground as an author. So a paid audience and having a strategy to build your paid audience is really important. So how do you grow your paid audience? So there's lots of different ways out there. Of course, first up we have email promos, and this is what we specialize in at Written Word Media. And so this is where authors pay us, and then we send the author's book out to hundreds of thousands of readers who have told us that they love that author's genre. So you can run a fantasy promo with us, and we'll send your book out to thousands of readers who love fantasy, and then on that day you'll see more sales or downloads than you otherwise would. We often pair these with price drops. So if you are in KDP Select and you run a free day, you can run a promo with our free Booksy site and get a bunch of downloads on that day and see your sales rank on Amazon shoot up, and then even more readers will buy your book. So running email promos, especially with a price drop, is a really effective tactic that a lot of authors use. For the email promos and especially free promos are most effective when you have multiple books for readers to buy. And so if you're dropping the price of book 1 and maybe you have a book 2 or 3, that's really effective because then those readers who don't know your name, so they're not necessarily willing to pay $5 for book 1 off the bat. Maybe they'll pay 99 cents or download it for free. They read book 1, they like it, and then they go on to buy and pay full price for book 2, 3, however many you have. So that's a classic strategy used with email promos. You can also run digital ads. So as I mentioned, running Facebook ads, Amazon ads, BookBub ads, any ad platform out there to grow your paid audience. And then of course you can stack your promos together. And this is what we call promo stacking. And so promo stacking is really effective because it's the practice of running a lot of promos over a short period of time. So maybe you run a written word media promo on day 1, and then you start running some Facebook ads on day 2, and then maybe you send, if you have an email list, maybe you send to your email list on day 3. And that's stacking your promos together. And what this does is it signals to algorithms on retailers like Amazon that your book is popular, that people are interested in it, and then the retailer often will boost the book even further, and even more readers will see the book and buy it, especially if your conversion is optimized. So promo stacking is a great way to leverage your paid audience as well. The written word media, we can help with this. This is where we have our expertise. So as I mentioned, we have free Booksy promos. If you ever have a free book, you can send it out to an audience of readers. These are very popular, and authors tend to get very good results here and get a lot of readers downloading their book. That's a great way to kind of get off the ground and have readers start enjoying your work and hopefully read and leave reviews as well. And then if you have other books, hopefully these readers continue on and buy your other books as well. We also run Facebook and Amazon ad campaigns for authors. And these are really great because we do all of the work for you. Running Facebook ads in particular can be quite the pain. You have to write the copy, you have to create the images, you have to do the targeting, the optimization, the budgeting. And with us at Written Word Media, it's really easy. All of our promos take about 5 minutes to schedule. You just enter your book information, click the day that you want your promo to run, pay and check out, and then we handle everything else. So you don't have to send us an image of your book or write any copy or do any scheduling, but we handle all of that. So with our Facebook ad campaigns, that's a real benefit, and so we really have a lot of good success there for authors, and it's a lot easier than running them on your own. So promo stacking, as I mentioned earlier, is something that authors have been doing for a long time because it works, right? And so this is a strategy invented by authors, and we see authors doing this all the time with our promos. The one issue with promo stacking is that it can be a lot of work to get it figured out. So we can see here on this screen, this is someone doing a promo stack. We've just got so many tabs up. We've got calendars. We have different promo sites. Some promo sites won't tell you the day that your promo is going to run when you first schedule it. So you apply to have the promo. Then if you're approved, then they will tell you what day it's going to run. At Written Word Media, you actually get to pick the day that your promo runs, but the date might not be available that you need to line up with another promo site. And so the logistics of running a promo stack can get pretty frustrating and pretty annoying for authors. And so that's why this year we launched ready-made promo stacks. So we partnered with other promo sites and along with all of our own promos as well to create ready-made promo stacks. And so with this, you can go to writtenwordmedia.com, click promote, and then click promo stacks. And there you'll see these ready-made promo stacks where you can select which promo stack you want, which genre, what price of book you have. And then all of these promos will run over a 1, 3, or 5 day period for your book. And so you don't have to do all the juggling of scheduling promos on your own. We handle all of it for you. And so hopefully it takes a process that used to take, maybe a few hours and might last a few weeks as you're getting everything finalized, down to just a 5 to 10 minute window, and you're completely done. So these have been very popular, and so this is something that we're really proud of and really happy with how it's going at Written Word Media. All right, so that is what I've got on how to grow your paid audience. So now let's think about giving a grade as well. So A, B, or C. Where do you think you are with your growing your paid audience and using a paid audience? Have you run ads before? Were they successful? Do you have promos that work for you and your books? Think about this and give yourself a grade. And then we can come back at the end and decide, all right, where do I want to focus on? Should it be my paid audience? Should it be my conversion optimization? Or should it be leveraging your owned audience? So, your paid audience, as I was just talking about, is a great way to build your own audience, okay? And so what we want to do here is transition people from ads into your email list is really what we're doing. Your owned audience is something that you control and can reach very effectively for very little money. And this is really important because the paid audience, an important pillar, an important strategy for building an author business, but it's variable and can be somewhat unreliable. For example, a few years ago, Apple released a privacy update that changed how Facebook could collect data from iPhone users. And this really impacted how effective Facebook ads were. So we run a lot of Facebook ads at Written Word Media. We run them for authors and we run them to acquire readers for our email lists. And during this time, we saw a massive jump in how much we had to pay to get a new email subscriber on Facebook. And so a lot of businesses, not in publishing specifically, but a lot of businesses out there had based almost all their business on running Facebook or Instagram ads. And then when this change happened, their ads tanked in how effective they were. And a lot of businesses went out of business because they couldn't afford the new prices for how much they were having to pay for these ads. And then again, earlier this year, Facebook ads have been cooking with gas. Everything has gotten so cheap in 2023. We're kind of back to the pre-privacy update level of things. And so now we're really happy with these ads and how they're working. So the paid audience is really variable and somewhat unreliable. Things are a little bit out of your control. And so a business based purely on paid audience really should diversify. And for authors, this is no different. And so when I'm talking about your owned audience, I'm really talking about your email list. And so in order to have an email list, you need to have certain things to set it up. So these are the table stakes for having an owned audience or an email list. So first, you need a website. And then on the website, you need an email list sign up. You need a way for readers to join your email list. So this is the actual form where the readers put in their email address, maybe their name, and join your mailing list. Of course, you need the list. This could just be a CSV file somewhere, but probably it's hosted on an email service provider, which is also how you send emails to your audience. An email service provider at ESP, these are things like MailChimp or MailerLite, something like that. And so the reason I'm talking about your email list as your owned audience is because, yes, you might have to pay, especially with depending on how big your email list is, to host your email list on an email service provider, but it still is going to be so much cheaper than running ads for your books on a platform like Facebook or Instagram. So your email list, you might still have to pay a little bit, but it's going to be much cheaper, and people who join your email list are going to be much more engaged than people who have never heard of you before and see your ad on Facebook. So this is where your fans are. And so if you have a book out there and someone finishes it and they love it and they can't wait for you to release another book, or they want to find out more about you, or they want to buy some merch from you or something like that, if you don't have an email list, it's hard to capture them and have a way to communicate directly with them. So making sure you have an email list is a great way to build your fandom as well. All right, so now that we have what we need to have an email list, the website, the email sign up, and the email service provider, we need to grow our owned audience. We need to get people to actually sign up for our email list, and hopefully your email list gets bigger and bigger over time. So first up, obviously your website, and making sure that your email list is prominently displayed on your website is really important. So making it very easy for readers to sign up is a great thing. One thing about digital marketing is that an extra click or a page taking too long to load, these things have dramatic impacts on conversion rate or how many readers sign up for something. So making it very easy, easier than you think you need to for readers to sign up for your mailing list is really important. Some authors will even put their mailing list sign up front and center on their homepage because they want as many people as possible to get on that mailing list, because then it's going to be very easy to contact them again in the future. You can also promote your mailing list on social media, And then perhaps most importantly, you need to make sure that your mailing list is promoted in the back matter of your books. So in the book itself, after a reader finishes it, you want to have some information there for the reader, right? This person just finished your book, so they read the whole thing. That's a great sign. Hopefully they loved it. And then if they did love it, you want to give them everything they need to continue to enjoy your work. So having a call to action where you say, hey, thanks for reading my book. If you wanna hear more, please join my mailing list. A lot of readers or a lot of authors will include a free bonus chapter if someone joins their mailing list. So this is what we call a lead magnet. And so you can say in your book, hey, thanks for reading. If you'd like a free bonus chapter or a free novella, sign up for my mailing list at my website. Then the reader goes and signs up on the website, and you can have an automated email, send the reader a PDF of the novella or an advanced chapter just in an email, something like that, to reward the readers for signing up for your mailing list. So making sure that you promote your website, your email sign up, and probably your other books as well in your back matter is really important, because your back matter is where you're talking to people who finish your book, and these are the people that really liked your work. And then last but not least, another great way to grow your own audience is a new product from us at Written Word Media. It's called Subscriber Surge Giveaways. So Subscriber Surge Giveaways is like all of our other products at Written Word Media, in that it's very easy for you, the author, to use. So you just go to writtenwordmedia.com, and there's a promote drop down, and you can just hit Subscriber Surge Giveaways. And then you can sign up to enter a giveaway in your genre. You enter your book information, and your book can be any price. I think it's got to be like under $20 or something like that. You enter your book information, you choose the date for the promo, you check out. It takes about 5 minutes, and then our team handles everything else. And so what we do is we take every author who signed up for the giveaway, and we add their books to a landing page that looks something like this. It'll be different by genre. We're always testing as well to optimize the landing pages. So it could look slightly different, but in general, it will look like this. And this runs for about 60 days, and we are driving traffic to this page by running ads. And on this page, the readers who are coming from the ads can sign up to join each author's email list. And if they sign up to join an author's email list, they are rewarded with an entry to win all of the books in the giveaway and a bigger reward like a Kindle. And so this kind of incentive creates a lot of excitement for readers, and a lot of readers signed up for these mailing lists. And then at the end of the 60 days, we actually will buy a copy of your book and send it to the winning reader. We'll also send the winning reader a Kindle. So you don't actually have to worry about the fulfillment of the reward. We handle all of that. And you will actually get a CSV file of all the readers that signed up to join your mailing list. And you can just download that and then upload it to your email service provider. So MailChimp or MailerLite, something like that you're using. So this is a great way to kind of get your email list off the ground, and then also have a direct line to readers who might not have heard of your books before. And so you've got a fresh audience, and you can send them an email saying, hey, thank you so much for joining. Here's my work if you'd like to buy one of my books or check them out. And so this is a great way to grow your own audience. All right, so now that we've got an idea of how we're going to grow our own audience, it's important to know that it's never too early to start, never too late to start growing your own audience. So I suggest that everybody get a website, create an email list. It's not easy, but starting early can really pay off, because this is something that you'll come back to again and again, and you can rely on throughout your years as an author. But after you have an email list, what do you actually do with it, right? You have a bunch of readers. Probably a lot of them have read at least one of your books. So what next? So first up, you can use your own audience to help drive direct sales if you're selling direct from your website. So these are people that are fans of yours. They probably trust you, and so they're more likely to buy a book from your website. You can also use your email list to help support your launches. So when you launch a new book, email everybody on your email newsletter and say, hey, I just launched a new book. You can go here to buy it. Please leave a review. And I think it's really important here to make sure that you're asking your fans to help you out, right? People who sign up for your email list typically really like your work. really like what you've done. And so they're excited to be closer to you. They're excited to help you out. And so I always tell authors, don't be afraid to ask these people to leave a review or to buy your book and explain how much it will help you out. This is really exciting for readers. I know, if I have an author that I really love and they email and say, hey, I'm really hoping to get some more reviews for my book so I can get some more sales and really build my author business and then get more time to write. I'm so excited to leave a review and help them out because I love their work and I'm excited for more of it. So don't be afraid to ask your readers on your email list for help. A lot of them are going to want to help you. And those that don't want to help you, they're probably not going to get mad at you. And even if they do, they can just unsubscribe. It's not the end of the world. If they didn't want to leave a review or buy your book, you didn't need them on your email list in the first place. So yeah, don't be afraid to ask your readers for help. And then, of course, the fandom and increasing the reader value that comes with having an email list can't be underrated. So, like I said, your super fans, they are on your email list. That is where they live. And so developing a connection with them, sharing things about your real life is really important. I was talking to an author at a conference the other week, and they were saying that they sent an email out to their readers saying, hey, thank you so much for everybody who's left a review. I was actually reading the reviews in my car with my husband the other day, and we just spent like an hour reading them. We were so happy. So thank you everybody who's left a review. And if you can leave a review for future books, that helps me so much. Helps other readers find and buy my books, and it makes me so happy. And she said she got a lot of reviews after sending that email because that's a really personal touch. And really explains to the readers how much it means when they leave a review. A lot of readers don't understand the importance of a review, both emotionally and monetarily on Amazon. Reviews actually matter a lot. So yeah, don't be afraid to ask. Your email list is where your super fans are. All right, so owned audience grades. Where are you at with your owned audience? Do you have an email list? Are you using it as well as you think you could? Do you think you could be doing better? Are you really happy with how you're using your email list? Go ahead and write down a grade, A, B, or C, nothing lower than a C. And kind of analyze where you're at with growing your owned audience. All right, so next up, after growing your owned audience, is building your brand. And this goes hand in hand because your owned audience is a group of people who know you and you can communicate with again and again. And this is how you really start building a brand as an author. So building a brand can be a little intimidating, but I think it's probably a little bit easier than you think, and you might already be doing this. So it's important that when you're thinking about building your brand, you have a goal of defining a recognizable, consistent brand. That is really a way for readers to categorize you as a person. The brilliance of a brand is that it kind of creates a shorthand that gives more information about you than what you're actually saying. If I talk to someone I know, they know more about me than the words I'm saying in the moment. And so they have more context for our conversation, what I'm saying, and they'll have a better understanding of the meaning of the words that I'm saying because they know me. And your brand is no different. Your brand is taking this one-to-one communication and making it a one-to-many. For example, a big brand like Coke, right? They know that you know what a Coke is and you know how to drink a Coke. You probably also know where you can get a Coke. And so when Coke runs a commercial, they have their branding, so you know it's a Coke commercial, and they already know that you know everything else about Coke, right? How to drink it, how to find it, and so they can skip directly to how you'll feel when you drink a Coke, right? So the shorthand allows them to get further into their messaging and talk in a more effective way to their customers. And a brand for authors is no different. It's creating a shorthand with your readers, creating more recognizable communication, and so you're able to communicate more effectively with your audience. So, building your brand. We're going to start here just by writing a really simple brand brief, and you can probably just do this on a sheet of paper or a notes app or something like that at home. But first, we're just going to start with the visual aspect of a brand. So we're going to choose 2 to 3 primary colors that we're going to use in our brand over and over and really stick to them. And so it's important when you choose your colors that you actually get the color code. You can Google color codes if you're curious about what those are, but this makes sure that it's the same type of red or the same type of yellow every time you use the color. That's really important. So pick 2 to 3 primary colors. Hopefully they look good together and complement each other. And then we can move on to fonts. So the font is, you're probably going to primarily use this in your emails. You don't have a lot of control over font on social media. But what fonts do you use to communicate to your readers and on your website? So pick a font that you use and stick with that, right? So the key here is consistency. So pick your colors, pick your font, and then use them over and over in your social media images, your emails, your website, maybe in the back matter of your books, maybe on your covers as well. And just reinforce that this is your brand. This is what it looks like when you are talking to readers. So after you have the visual identity, we can move on to the slightly more fun aspect of building a brand, in my opinion. And so this is the personality aspect. So what personality trait do you have that you can emphasize and kind of make a caricature of to let readers know that, hey, this is who I am as a person? And one thing that's important here is that it doesn't have to be a truly unique or inherently interesting thing about you to be part of your brand. If you have something like that, that's great. But readers don't necessarily want something truly unique from their authors or original. For example, if you like cats, that's a great thing to add to your brand because that's relatable. A lot of your readers probably like cats as well if you're into cats, right? And so making it clear, like, hey, here's my cat, my writing buddy, he's always walking on the keyboard. Things like this that you can blow up and really explain to readers and make kind of larger than life. This is really great because it's relatable and it lets readers know that you're a real person. They're supporting a real person with their writing dreams. And so creating this connection, this one-to-one out of this one-to-many is really important. So pick some personality traits. Are you self-effacing? Are you sarcastic? Do you start your emails with a little story, something like that, to help you relate to readers? And then also your tone in your emails. Do you make jokes in your emails? Are your emails very serious? Are they very short? Are they rambling? Are they stream of conscious sort of stuff? Pick the tone that you communicate that you use to communicate with your readers. And then use this over and over and help readers recognize that it's you, and your communications will go a lot further. All right, so where are we at with brand? Do you have any defined brand? Do you think readers recognize your brand even if you haven't thought about it? Go ahead and give yourself a grade A, B, or C for how you're doing with having a brand. All right, and the last strategy in the flywheel, not least but last, is finally be findable. So being findable is such an underrated thing when it comes to being an author or just having an online business in general. And the great thing about being findable is that it's pretty easy to do it right. And once you do it, you can often set it and forget it. So this is one of those rare things. This is kind of a base level of author marketing. So once you get this done, you can move on to other strategies. But first, let's talk about what it means to be findable. So as I mentioned earlier, an extra click, a slow loading page, not being able to find an author where the reader wants to find the author. These are all barriers that can decrease how many readers end up following you and supporting your career. And so being findable is all about making it very easy for readers to find you and find out more about you and buy your books. And so in my mind, there are essential profiles that every author needs to have. So you need a Facebook page, you need an Instagram account, And then of course you need your author pages on all of your retailers like Amazon, Apple, if you're wide, Kobo, etc. And so making sure you have a profile on all of these places, make sure that readers are able to easily find you and they won't have a hard time discovering how to find you. And the thing here is a lot of readers want to follow you on the platform where the reader wants to spend their time. So some people prefer Facebook, some people prefer Instagram, some people follow authors on Amazon or other social media networks. Facebook and Instagram are the biggest these days, or at least particularly in web searches. So making sure you have those profiles ready is really helpful. Now, if you are into social media and you like to post, and posting is fun for you and it's exciting, absolutely build out more social media profiles. Make a TikTok account, get on X or Twitter, and if you're excited about social media and you like to post, go crazy with it. It's a great way to sell books. But if social media is really draining for you and you don't enjoy posting, stick to the essentials and just create these pages and make them look nice. You don't need to be posting constantly. The goal here is that when a reader goes to your Facebook or Instagram page, they're able to know that it's you and they're able to follow it and then maybe click a link there or know that they can go to your website to join your email list, or they can easily buy another one of your books. So after you have all your social media profiles, it's important to tie them together and use your brand to make them all cohesive, right? And so we're using the tone that we've decided on when we were building the brand. We're using the colors as well and images to help create this cohesive feel across all of your profiles. If you can, if you're comfortable, I really recommend having a real photo of you on your social media profiles. Not all authors are comfortable with this, and that's totally fine if you're not. But if you're willing to put up a real photo of yourself, I recommend doing it. Readers want that connection. They want to know that you're a real person. They want to imagine you writing their favorite character. And so having a real photo of yourself can be a great way to build that connection with readers. Another important thing, and this is true whether you're using a real photo of yourself or using kind of a logo, you need to make sure that you have the same photo across all of your social media profiles. And this is a great way to make it very easy for readers to switch between locations and follow you where they want to. For example, if a reader sees your Amazon author page and they say, I like this, I just finished this author's book. Oh, I wonder if they're on Instagram. They might go to Instagram, search for your name, and in the search results there'll be all these tiny thumbnail images along with names in the results, right? Someone will probably have the same name as you. That tends to be how things are on social networks. But probably no one will have the same profile image as you. And so by having the same profile image on Instagram as you do on Amazon, readers will easily know which one to click on. That makes it easier to decide where to click. That makes it more likely to actually follow through and follow you on the social media network. So having the same profile photo also helps a lot with being findable. Using a common naming convention is another great way to make sure that readers are able to find you. And so if you say, my name is Clayton Noblit, so say if my author name is Clayton Noblit, on Facebook I might say that my Facebook page would be Clayton Noblit Author or Clayton Noblit Books. And this makes it very clear once again to readers that this is the author, this is the writer, this is where you follow them. So this once again, like the profile photo, makes it more easy for readers to find you and make sure that it's actually you that they're following. If you can, use the same naming convention across your profiles. This isn't always possible because sometimes they're taken, but if possible, you want to have your author name, books on one social media network and have the same thing on another. Makes it really easy for readers to find you across platforms. And then finally, like I mentioned earlier, use your brand, right? Make sure you're hitting the tone and the colors consistently over and over for a long time. And so using your brand here is a great way to make yourself more findable and make it really easy for readers to connect with you. Being findable is all about making it as easy as possible for readers. have an easy profile to find? Would readers be able to follow you on the network that they want to? Do you have the same profile photo across your different profiles? Yeah, where do you think you're at? Give yourself an A, B, or a C. All right, so those are the 5 strategies to grow your reader audience, and they make up the book marketing flywheel. These 5 strategies together help you build a business that builds upon itself and supports itself for the long term. So first up, we have conversion optimization. This is making sure your book pages are as slick as possible and as many people as possible who visit your book page actually end up buying your book. Then we have growing your paid audience. So this is running things like email promos with us at Written Word Media or another promo site, running Facebook ads, running Amazon ads, paying to drive readers to your book pages. And because you've worked on your conversion, more of these readers are going to convert and actually buy your books. Then after these readers buy your books, they get to the end, they read your books, they get to your back matter, they see there's an email newsletter, they loved the book, they go to your website, they sign up for your email newsletter, and now next time you have a release, or if you're doing direct sales, or if you have a special edition, you can tell these readers about it, and you can increase the value of your readers over time. Then, of course, you have this email list. You have this owned audience that you're communicating with time after time, and this is a great opportunity to build your brand with your colors, your font, your tone, and your personality. And with consistency, you can build your brand over time and build a shorthand with your readers to the point where your communication becomes extremely effective and your relationship with your readers is deepened, and they're telling their friends about you, and this creates a real fandom for you. So building a brand, a really important aspect of being an author. And then, of course, being findable, right? So you have this brand, you've got it out there in the world. You want more people to find you, more people to recognize you. And so making sure that it's very easy for readers to find you on their preferred social networks or on retailers is also really important. So that is the book marketing flywheel, and it is made up of 5 strategies to grow your reader audience and really build your author business. So that is it for the talk, and now I'm going to get into some quick information on Written Word Media, the company that I work for, and how we can help you sell more books. So we are a book marketing company at Written Word Media. And so we have a bunch of different ways that we can help authors sell books. So like I said, we can run Facebook or Amazon ad campaigns for you. This is really fantastic because, as I said earlier, it takes about 5 minutes for you to sign up, and then we handle everything else. So we're all about making marketing easy at Written Word Media, and that is never more true than when an author runs a Facebook or Amazon ad campaign with us. We also have email promos, which I spoke about earlier, where we email your book out to tens of thousands of readers who like your genre. Our email promos range in price from $25 to $500. They really vary based on how many readers your book will be sent to. Different genres have different prices because we have different numbers of readers who like different genres. It'd be nice if they were all the same, but that's just not the reality of readers signing up for email lists. Everybody picks different genres. And so you pay based on how many readers your book is going to be sent to. We also have ready-made promo stacks. So if you want to combine, a Facebook ad campaign and a few email promos together into one package, we make that easier than ever. And you can just buy a ready-made promo stack and drive a ton of attention to your book, hopefully after you've done a little work to optimize your conversion. And then, of course, we have subscriber surge giveaways, which I also spoke about in the presentation, which is a great way to build your email list, get more readers on your email list that you can contact and sell your books to. Something we're known for at Written Word Media is our customer service. We get fantastic ratings all the time. So this is something that we're really proud of. So if you're a customer, or even if you're not a customer, don't hesitate to email us at info@writtenwordmedia.com. or go to writtenwordmedia.com and click the Contact Us page and ask us any questions you have about book marketing or about Written Word Media specifically. Please don't hesitate. Our team is so kind and so happy to help out authors. So please, if you have any questions, reach out. We want to make this as easy as possible and as positive as possible for authors. We also have a membership program. And this is something that we launched about a year ago, and we're really excited about it. It's really been a really cool thing to watch it grow. So we have 3 levels. Our free level is really fantastic. If you're running promos with us, you get an account where you can save your books. And so each time you book a promo, you don't have to re-enter all your book information. It's saved. And so this makes scheduling promos even easier. And so that's a really, really great benefit for our free members. Then, of course, you also have your promo history in there. So you'll see which promos you've ran and when you should do them again. So that's a great benefit. We also have our gold plan, which is $125 a year. And a primary benefit of the gold plan is you save 10% on all of your promos with Written Word Media, and that's capped at $200 in savings. So if you're a gold member and you run enough promos, you could save the amount of your gold membership and then $75 on top of it. So we have a lot of gold members who are saving $75 a year because of how many promos they're running with us at Written Word Media. Gold members also get advanced access to inventory. So a lot of our promos will sell out because they're so popular. And so our gold members are able to book further in advance than free members. And so you're more likely to get the days that you want to run your promos. So that's a really nice benefit. We also have exclusive discounts on industry partners. And then we also have exclusive promo opportunities for our gold members. And so the gold membership is probably our most popular tier. Above that, we have platinum, which is very similar to gold, except the discount cap is higher. So platinum costs $250 a year, but the potential savings is $500. And so this is for really high volume promoters who are running a lot of promos each year. And this plan is really great because it gives you the opportunity to potentially save $250 a year, which is pretty significant. So that's been really exciting as well. And then, of course, you have all the benefits included with the gold plan. So advanced access to inventory, our speaker series archive, exclusive discounts and promo opportunities, all sorts of good stuff. So if you're curious about becoming a gold or platinum member, you can go to writtenwordmedia.com/membership. If you want to become a free member, you can go to the same place, or you can just click login in the top right and then click create free account. And so yes, that is our membership program. So thank you so much, everybody, for coming to this talk today. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to contact Written Word Media at info@writtenwordmedia.com and just address your email to Clayton, and that will come to me. You can go to writtenwordmedia.com to learn more about book marketing. We have a really fantastic blog and an email list growing our own audience. If you want to sign up for our email list, we send out all sorts of good tips on book marketing, book publishing, and what's going on in the industry. So even if you're not ready to promote your book yet, there's a lot of good value on writtenwordmedia.com for authors. All right, that is it for me. Once again, my name is Clayton Noblit. Thank you so much for coming, and I hope everybody has a wonderful day.